America once built the world's longest bridges in just a few years, on time and on budget. Today, the same country takes decades, and spends billions more, only to finish projects like the Bay Bridge almost 400% over budget, while Europe quietly delivers feats like France's Millau Viaduct with a fraction of the delay and cost. This isn't just a headline, it's the reality that shapes daily commutes, drains public funds, and leaves vital infrastructure crumbling. So why can't America build bridges like Europe anymore? And what changed since its golden age? The real answer starts with a series of shocking comparisons, revealing a decline nobody expected. Start with two bridges, both record-breakers in their own right. France's Millau Viaduct, the tallest bridge in the world, opened in 2004 after just 13 years from approval to completion. The final bill? About €394 million, just 10 to 15% above the original estimate. Now look at the new eastern span of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge. Planning began in 1989. By the time it opened in 2013, the project had stretched to 24 years and ballooned to $6.5 billion, nearly 400% over the first budget. That's not a rounding error. That's billions of dollars and more than a decade lost. This isn't just a fluke. European megaprojects like the Øresund Bridge, connecting Denmark and Sweden, finished on time and within budget after 5 years of construction. Meanwhile, American projects routinely run 50 to 200% over budget, with timelines measured in decades. The numbers tell the story. Where Europe expects a 10 to 20% overrun, the US faces cost explosions that can quadruple original estimates. For commuters, that means years of detours and delays. For taxpayers, it's billions spent for every mile of steel and concrete. The scale of the gap is hard to ignore. Two bridges, two continents. One delivers on time, the other delivers excuses and invoices. The question is, how did this gap open up, and why does it keep growing? In the middle of the 20th century, American bridge builders set the pace for the world. The Golden Gate Bridge, spanning more than a mile across the churning waters of San Francisco Bay, opened in 1937 after just 4 years of construction. Its Art Deco towers and sweeping cables became a symbol of national confidence. By the 1950s and 60s, the United States was pouring concrete and steel across rivers, valleys, and urban divides at a rate unmatched anywhere. Interstate highway bridges, like those crossing the Mississippi or the Ohio, often went from planning to ribbon cutting in as little as 3 to 5 years. Engineers and construction crews worked with a directness that seems almost impossible now. Designs were bold, timelines tight, and budgets usually held. The Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, the Mackinac Bridge, and hundreds of lesser-known spans rose in quick succession, driven by a sense of urgency to connect cities and regions. State departments of transportation kept in-house teams of engineers and designers who saw projects through from concept to completion. Contractors drew on a deep bench of skilled trades, many trained on the job and eager to take on new challenges. Back then, the question wasn't whether America could deliver a bridge on time and on budget, it was how soon the next one would open. The country's infrastructure ambitions ran on a kind of relentless optimism, powered by technical know-how and a willingness to take risks. That era now stands as a benchmark, a reminder that slow, costly delivery isn't a law of nature. For decades, America built fast, built big, and built well. Before a single crane arrives on site, most American bridge projects are already years behind. The first hurdle is the environmental review, an obstacle course of paperwork, hearings, and agency sign-offs. Under the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, a full environmental impact statement can stretch across 4 to 7 years for a major bridge. That's before accounting for parallel reviews from the Army Corps of Engineers, the Coast Guard, state regulators, and local authorities. Each step adds more studies, more meetings, and more opportunities for delay. A single lawsuit can halt progress for months or even years, as competing interests battle over route alignment, endangered species, or noise impacts. The Columbia River crossing between Oregon and Washington burned through over $200 million just on planning and environmental review, only to be derailed in court before a shovel hit the ground. In Europe, these reviews are bundled and time-limited, with a single lead agency shepherding the process. In the US, the process is open-ended, with litigation always looming. The result? Bridges wait in limbo while costs climb, and communities grow impatient for relief that never seems to arrive. A bridge might be designed and approved, but the money to build it does not always flow when it is needed. In the United States, funding for major bridge projects comes in annual installments, controlled by Congress through the federal budget cycle. Even with the $1.2 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the reality is that most bridge dollars are released year by year. A project can stall for months if Congress delays appropriations or if budget fights hold up the next tranche of funding. For states and contractors, this means stop-start schedules. Crews ramp up, pause, and then scramble to restart, with each break adding cost and eroding momentum. There is no guarantee the full amount will ever materialize, and overruns can pile up as projects stretch out over multiple budget cycles. Europe takes a different approach. The European Union's Connecting Europe facility, for example, commits funds up front, tied to strict project milestones. If a bridge project misses a deadline, unused money can be clawed back and future support is at risk. In 2020, the European Union withdrew funding for Danube bridge upgrades after progress stalled, enforcing a use-it-or-lose-it rule. This system keeps projects moving and holds planners accountable. In the US, without hard penalties for delay, projects can drift, waiting for the next budget, the next vote, or the next round of paperwork. The result is a funding fault line that runs beneath every American bridge plan, making steady progress the exception, not the rule. Engineers on American bridge projects face a different set of hurdles before the first beam is even set. Over the last 50 years, safety codes and design standards have ballooned in both size and caution, pushing teams to add more steel and concrete than their European peers. It's not just about building strong bridges, it's about building bridges that can withstand any imaginable lawsuit or audit. Contractors and engineers widely report that these layers of risk-averse requirements can drive up material use and costs by double digits, even when the added bulk brings little practical benefit. But the challenges don't end at the drawing board. The workforce that once made America's bridge boom possible is aging out, with fewer young tradespeople stepping in to fill the gap. Recent industry surveys show that most construction firms are struggling to hire enough qualified welders, carpenters, and crane operators. On top of that, the US often relies on imported steel for major projects, which can mean months of waiting for shipments to clear customs or pass quality checks. When problems crop up overseas, as they did with the Bay Bridge's cracked welds, delays and costs spiral at home. Even after the design is finalized and the team is in place, a single bridge project may need sign-off from a dozen or more agencies, federal, state, city, and sometimes tribal. Each approval can mean more revisions and more time lost. For the engineers and crews trying to keep a project on track, it's a marathon of paperwork, compliance, and coordination. All these small hurdles add up, making it harder to deliver the kind of bold, efficient infrastructure that once defined American ambition. The Øresund Bridge stands as a rare achievement in modern megaproject delivery. Built to connect Denmark and Sweden, it opened to traffic in July 2000 after just 5 years of construction. The final cost landed within 1% of the original budget, a result almost unheard of on projects this scale. A binational authority handled every phase, streamlining decisions and keeping the project insulated from political swings. Contracts were structured to reward speed and penalize delay, so every partner had a stake in finishing on time. The result? A seamless rail and road link that delivered exactly what was promised, exactly when it was needed. When the I-35W bridge in Minneapolis collapsed, Minnesota rebuilt it in just 11 months, faster than anyone expected and under budget. That success wasn't luck. It came from clear leadership, streamlined approvals, and a contract that rewarded speed. Across the country, new task forces are cutting red tape by putting engineers and agencies at the same table from day one. Public-private partnerships are delivering bridges like the Goethals and Presidio Parkway early and on budget. Apprenticeship programs are bringing in new skilled workers, raising completion rates, and keeping the next generation on the job. These reforms show that America can still build quickly and well when the right tools are put to work. In 1937, the Golden Gate Bridge opened after just 4 years of construction, setting a global benchmark for speed and ambition. Today, American bridge projects like the Bay Bridge routinely face cost overruns of 200% and delays spanning decades, while European examples such as the Malo Viaduct deliver on budget and on time, with overruns rarely exceeding 15%. The evidence points to a combination of regulatory gridlock, fragmented funding, risk-averse engineering, and workforce shortages as the main drivers behind America's decline. Yet not every answer is clear. Some government audits remain sealed and the full impact of recent reforms is still unknown. What is certain, streamlined approvals, integrated funding, and investment in skilled labor have enabled Europe's continued success. As new infrastructure laws take effect, America stands at a crossroads. Whether it can reclaim its lost edge depends on choices made now, not on past achievements.